The NBA draft is next week. The players are younger than ever. The league and critics acknowledge that trend is dangerous. Now, the focus has been on trading a college degree for the pros. Now, a generation is encouraged to skip a high school diploma. Tonight, the winners and losers when kids play hoops too soon. The heroes of the court today are fresh out of PE class. Already at 20, LeBron James is considered perhaps the best in the game.
It wasn't hard for me. It was just the transition, the speed of the game.
Daryl Dawkins thundered into the NBA out of high school 30 years ago. This year, a dozen 12th graders jumped into the early draft. Last year, a record 8 players made the pros right out of high school. This generation craves the spotlight. The players are gutsy, older than their years. Hip-hop is their culture. At the Chicago Roundball Classic, a showcase for high school all-stars, rapper Lloyd Banks was on the bench.
Some people say hip-hop artists is like negative for basketball and vice versa, but it's only because the influence comes from the same thing, the streets. That's the options we have when we're growing up. You know, it seems like you either play basketball, football, or rap.
But what about school as an option? There's concern that players are recruited way too young. Now, the reality is sports is still a way out of poverty. But then again, so is education. The NBA is pushing to ban players from entering the league until age 20, so they mature. But is there a mixed message when NBA scouts are right there with college recruiters and shoe companies at high school exhibition games?
Years ago, they wouldn't have been at my game. They went to my game for about 35 years. Tracy, Kevin, and Kobe started the high school thing. Those 3 kids turned the world around because they went in and became very successful, and every mother's daughter's child thought that their child should be the next one.
The hunt for that next one, more and more, is at pickup games on the playground.
These agents began to invade neighborhoods and high school and parents early on. And if they see they have that little extra pep in their step, that extra little jump with the bump, they begin the program early on. That is a kind of trafficking of human beings that must be seen as illegal, and it must be stopped.
Reverend Jesse Jackson is pushing reform so that stars don't pass on school. Some scouts figured DeAndre Thomas out of Chicago's Westinghouse might go pro after the Classic. At 6'8", 270, he is a load, and maybe now a hero for listening and choosing college.
Some probably say you should go to the pros, but majority say you go to college, get your game better, and try to get an education first, then try to go to the NBA second.
Welcome to LeBronJames.com.
James was chosen right after he dazzled the Classic in 2003, drawing 19,000 fans at age 17. That year, he became the youngest ever NBA Rookie of the Year and signed a $90 million contract just for his shoe. Even he says when it comes to skills, young players may be a step behind.
There's more athleticism, but not enough smartness. And guys in my generation really doesn't know how to play the game yet.
And job security is not guaranteed. The average NBA run is just 4 years, so it could be over at age 22, even sooner. The Bulls picked Eddie Curry straight out of Thornwood High School here. After just 3 seasons, a heart problem threatens his career.
I hope to God that his heart is healed and strong again. He didn't finish high school. And if he can't play basketball again, he has nothing to fall back on. And so we must care for these youth and stop this kind of a careless luring of money exploitation.
Now, the age limit is a major factor in the contract negotiations between the NBA and the union for the players, and it could force a lockout after the finals. Well, why should we care? Well, basically because our kids want to be just like the stars.